What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So a lot of you guys have hit me up. You want answers, so I'm here to give you some details and some updates in this video regarding Mayweather-Pacquiao. For starters, they just announced, and it's not official, but sources close to the situation are stating this, and I do believe this is to be the case. For this pay-per-view, if you want to enjoy Mayweather-Pacquiao in HD high definition, it is likely to cost you $99.99. So $100. They're charging a buck for Mayweather Pacquiao in high definition. If you want to save a little bit of money and you want to get in standard definition, you save $10. It's going to be $89.99. Now, for a fight of this magnitude, I really don't see unless you don't have a TV capable of projecting high definition, I don't see why you would not pay the $10 more for high definition. But that's just me. I like electronics, I like technology, and if I'm going to pay $89.99, I would just fork out the extra $10. But to each his own. You have the option. Now, this is definitely setting the record for the highest pay-per-view buy cost, I guess you could say. I think the previous one was $74.95 was the highest. So this definitely trumps it. And we expected this. We knew this was coming. Tickets are very scarce. And if you do get your hands on tickets, you have to basically be loaded. I'm hearing nosebleed seats are going for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Close lower level ringside, $10,000 and up, $20,000, $47,000 each. So close to $90,000 for a pair. So you really have to be on some Jay-Z, Rihanna type stuff unless you got it like that. And if you guys do have it like that and money is no object to you, make sure you support the channel. There's a donate button on my channel and it's a blue box. So if you're loaded like that, make sure you support for the content. Another thing, a lot of people wanted this. So I try to get to the questions you guys want to know and try to give you guys some answers and clarification. HBO is coming out with their show regarding this fight. Now, to my knowledge, it's actually a little bit different than what Showtime's doing. If you watch the video I did where I reported about Showtime Camp Life, Showtime is doing a series called Inside Mayweather-Pacquiao, and it's a 4-part series. And again, I told you guys the basic gist of it. Each company, everything is spelled out. Showtime, HBO, this is a joint effort. We don't really get this. I don't really remember the last time we had this co-promotion. I don't know if it was Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis was the very last time, but I know that was one of the times where we had a joint promotion with two rival companies. Again, I used this example before. It's similar to McDonald's and Burger King joining forces to put on like a barbecue or some kind of event or campaign. You don't really get that much because normally these companies are in it for themselves. And that's the enemy. So it's rare that you get an opportunity to work with them. Like have the announcers from Showtime, the Jimmy Lennon and Michael Buffer work together, or Showtime commentators, Roy Jones work with Al Bernstein and Jim Gray and stuff. It doesn't happen. I'm sure these guys talk outside of their networks and whatnot, but in terms of having them all in one event, this is the first time in a long time that we're getting that. So the Showtime Inside Mayweather-Pacquiao is going to focus on Showtime's fighter, Floyd Mayweather. He has a deal with them. He moved to HBO. Now HBO is coming out with their own. Now the difference in the thing I don't really like, HBO has great original programming from their shows. I used to watch True Blood and then it started getting weird with fairies and all kinds of stuff and pixie dust. But Boardwalk Empire, The Wire, just original movies, they do a really good job. Their sports segment, they have awesome programming, 24/7, things like that. They had a Klitschko special a little while ago, like a documentary biopic. And I really like what they do. I like their production value, the narration and everything. The only thing I disagree with on this is, to my knowledge, Mayweather-Pacquiao at last, this special is a 1-hour special and that's it. Versus Showtime, they break it up into like a mini series, just like All Accesses and 24/7. So I wish HBO broke it up. Like if it's going to be an hour, I'd rather have two 30-minute segments, or just make it an hour and a half and have three 30-minute segments. That's me. That's what I prefer, instead of watching it one day and that's it. So it's a little bit different. Showtime's, there's a 4-part mini series versus HBO, unless they have something else planned that I don't know about. HBO is just doing a 1 hour special. It's called At Last. And that's very simple. And this is the other thing that's kind of weird about this. The biggest fight of the world, the biggest fight of the century, probably the biggest fight in boxing, they're keeping a lot of things very, very bland. And I don't know if it has something to do with the co-promotion, but what I mean by bland is the title of this fight. There's no fancy title like Mayweather-Canelo was like Mayweather-Canelo, the one. And then the one with Maidana, Mayweather and Maidana, was The Moment, was the first one. And then the second one was called Mayhem. I think Broner Maidana was called The Danger Zone. They usually come up with creative titles, but for this, it's simply Mayweather-Pacquiao. It's like when they're coming out with these specials and stuff, they're keeping it super basic. Inside Mayweather-Pacquiao. That's Showtime's. Mayweather-Pacquiao At Last. You know what I mean? It's just very basic. Even the promotion, one press conference leading up to fight week, it's crazy how they're doing it. I personally, if I was behind, again, it gets tricky with all the business and all the hands in the cookie jars and different promoters and networks. So I'm guessing that's has something to do with it. They just rather agree whatever they can agree to and get this show on the road. That's basically what they did. They didn't want to go above and beyond. They didn't want to do more than what was necessary. So they kept it very basic. No title. Like me, I would have probably called it Mayweather-Pacquiao Legacy. I think that sounds cool. It's still simple, but to me, it's better than just Mayweather-Pacquiao. And then, like I said, so HBO's coming out with HBO At Last. It's a 1 hour series. I have the dates. You guys can screenshot that. I put this together for you guys. So these are the play dates. Screenshot it, watch it. The other thing I dislike is this is happening immediately after Ruslan Provodnikov, Lucas Matisse. Not a bad thing, but Showtime on that same night is having Chavez Jr. versus Funfara, and immediately after that, they're having episode 1 of their segment, which is called Inside Mayweather-Pacquiao. So April 18th is definitely a good day for boxing, but obviously these two companies are still competing and doing what they want for ratings and whatever. So I wish it was spread up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like April 18th, one of them airs, and then the next, now I got to DVR something. You know what I mean? I can't watch all of this simultaneously. Some of you guys might do it. I mean, I have multiple ways of watching stuff, tablet, TV, and computers and stuff like that. But I'd rather just sit down and watch one versus the other and keep flipping back and forth. So do whatever you guys want. Screenshot it. Try to give you guys some information. So HBO will come out. It's not HBO 24/7. It's not Showtime All Access. It's not a face-off. Again, unless they come up to some agreement, which I doubt, because everything's already agreed upon. They're trying to get this fight done and make all these millions of dollars. I doubt they're going to add something like that. So a lot of people are asking me, oh, are they going to do a face-off? Probably not. And again, it's all based on business. Face-off is an HBO thing. Max Kellerman, 2 fighters, and a face-off. You know what I mean? So Showtime and Mayweather are the A side of the equation. How does that benefit Showtime by airing an HBO show or an HBO special like Face Off? That's an HBO commentator, Max Kellerman. It doesn't. So that's pretty much why they're not having it, because it doesn't really make sense. And then this is the other thing you would run into. Let's say they did an HBO face-off. And I'm not complaining, like saying I don't want this. I would love to have seen a Mayweather-Pacquiao face-off segment like we always get with Sergio Martinez. Chavez Jr. was a great one. Mayweather versus Victor Ortiz was good. Margarito and Cotto rematch was a great one. Who was it? Bernard Hopkins, Jean Pascal was a great one. But again, it all trickles down to business. It doesn't make business sense for Showtime, because the other thing is, who's going to air it? If HBO airs it first, then they're going to get all the ratings for it. So again, if HBO produces it, then they're not going to give the footage and say, hey, Showtime, take all the credit for it and air this before us, versus not doing one at all. So a lot of people are asking. I know it's disappointing, but I really don't see a face-off, because that's an HBO series. That's an HBO production. And you know what I mean? To make a joint one would probably be more work than they're willing to do. They're just trying to get this fight on. which has been 6 years, 7 years in the making. And that's all I know. So I want to give you guys an update and set the record straight. There's probably not going to be a face-off. They're not doing the traditional 24/7, not doing the traditional all access, but they will have these independent segments. Another thing, for the last thing I'll close with, is this. HBO, I'm really looking forward to theirs. Not only do they have great original series, you got to look at it like this. Floyd Mayweather, for most of his career, especially his early career, he was an HBO fighter. So that means something special. He just went to Showtime a few fights ago. You know what I mean? The fight Guerrero was his first fight after jail. Cotto was on HBO, and then he moved over for the Showtime deal where he got a shit ton of money. Fought Guerrero, fought Canelo, fought Maidana twice, etc. So the reason I bring that up is because archives. HBO has the rights, and they probably have a lot of archive footage because they were with Floyd for most of his early career and up to the Miguel Cotto fight. So they're probably going to have a lot more archive footage than Showtime. So I'm anxious to see both specials, the Showtime special, because they're not going to have, like, I think Pacquiao has done maybe one fight. I think the Mosley fight was on Showtime, but I don't know. I mean, it's all politics, but all I know is HBO has a lot of footage of Mayweather from early in his career that they probably own the rights to. Showtime might be able to request some footage from HBO and just have the courtesy of HBO Sports tag on it. So I'm anxious to see how both specials look, and I do think HBO has more coverage because they have the archives, because Floyd was with them. Let me know what you guys think. Who will have the better special, HBO or Showtime? Do you like the 1 hour, one special narrated by Liev Schreiber? Or do you like the 4-part miniseries documentary style reality show that Showtime is doing? Drop me a comment. Let me know what you prefer. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.